morning. I'm April, aka Part-Time Farmer, your Total You Fresh Eating Coach. And it's fall in the garden, which leads us to a lot of options. I personally am not much of a fall gardener. I like to take a break in the fall because I've worked so hard all summer, and I use the fall and the winter to do my preserving for things that I've picked from the garden throughout the year. But I do like to plant a few crops that need to be in the ground over the fall so that come spring they start growing. And two of those excuse me, are garlic and shallots. Garlic and shallots are a lot more similar than you would think, because garlic, right, obviously you start with one bulb and then you get, one clove, and then it grows into a bulb that has multiple cloves. Unlike onions, which you would think a shallot would be like an onion, a shallot does the same thing, which is why you plant it in the fall. So this one shallot will bulb out like the garlic does, and then in the early, I don't know if it's late spring or early summer, you'll have like a bulb full of these shallots. So, I mean, I've already started taking things out of the garden, so I do have a bed that's open. First step for me is I finish clearing the bed. I'm not sure why these shot glasses are in the garden. And I like to use something like this, and I just give the top layer of soil a good. You want to try not to get too many leaves and stuff mixed into the soil. Yes, they will break down, but what happens is, as these leaves are breaking down, they take up vital nutrients that would normally be used for the vegetables that you're growing. So these are great to like put on the top afterwards, but you don't want to get too many of them mixed in with your soil. And yes, I don't wear gloves. It drives my husband crazy. He said I get man hands, but whatever. So one of the reasons why I wanted to share my gardening techniques with everyone is because I'm finding the more and more I watch things on YouTube and Instagram, the more and more the channels that I love are moving towards, which I get it, more and more commercial. So they're using products that are sponsoring their channels that can be expensive. That's not to say those products are not worth it. But I think it intimidates people, and then they end up thinking that gardening is something that requires a huge financial investment. It does not. Even this garlic and shallots, yeah, I bought them from Stark Nurseries online, but you don't have to. I mean, you can even use garlic and shallots from your grocery store if they're organic. And that's not that I'm all about only organic, but what happens is when they're not organic, sometimes they've been sprayed to prevent them from sprouting so that they have a longer shelf life in the store. So you want to stay away from that because you might be planting it and get nothing. So I've got a base. These are my go-tos. Alfalfa pellets, Tractor Supply, $15 for this 50-pound bag. I've been using it for 3 years. And I'm sorry this one is upside down, but just plant tone, organic fertilizer, all purpose. And sometimes I'll get some worm castings. So, first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna scoop a liberal amount. Okay. I love to be in the garden. It totally gets me out of my head. I have an immediate sense of accomplishment because I complete my task by planting. And it just feels good. So these alfalfa pellets are actually great to add to all your beds in the spring for fall feeding, because they break down slowly, or in the fall for the spring. take this and we're gonna mix it in. And don't worry, we're not gonna plant that entire basket together. I'm just gonna do a few. It's funny because anybody that knows me knows I don't eat onion, or any member of the, oh, look, a sweet potato I missed. Or any member of the onion family. I love garlic, but I plant the shallots for my husband. He loves them. And of course I give them to my kids. I love to plant food and give it to people. All right, so you see, nothing fancy. If you like to wear gloves, wear gloves. I like to get my hands in there. Then I'm just gonna even it out. This bed, I'm not gonna add any compost. What I'll probably do in the spring is I will top dress it. I mean, I give my beds a few inches of compost when I plant normally, but I mean, this bed has had sweet potatoes in it, so this soil is really in a great place. Okay, so let's get back to these guys. Again, they're very similar. Sorry for the dirty hands. Garlic. You have two sides. You have the base, which is flat, and then you have the pointy side. Piece of cake. Jam it in the ground. Pointy side up. Cover it. Boom. So you might want to do something, because now I'm not going to remember where I planted, where I didn't plant. So you may want to just take them, line them up. Ooh, that's a big garlic. This garlic type is Music. I plant this every year because it reminds me of a girl that I used to work with, who sadly is no longer with us. Her husband was a big garlic guy, and when she found out I loved to garden, she would bring me in samples of his garlic. He actually won prizes at the garlic festival every year, and Music ended up being my favorite, and every time I plant this I think of her. Shout out to Laura. So again, for the sake of not keeping you too long, I'm just going to plant these 2 rows. And then again, you want to go, you know, 3 or 4 inches below the soil. Just dig that baby in there. Now what happens is this is going to sit in the ground over the winter. It doesn't mind the cold weather. The frost is not going to hurt it. What you may find is when we have like bouts of warmer weather throughout the winter, you may see a couple of these sprouting. Don't worry, it's not going to ruin your chances to get garlic in the spring. So that's the garlic. And like I said, the shallot's very similar. Easier a little because you don't have to pull it apart. And I'm not sure, maybe I left some of these too long, but we'll see. Same thing, you want the pointy side up, the flat side down. That's the flat side, that's the pointy side. Same thing. I'm going to do a couple of rows of this. Love that dirt under my fingernails. I think I'm planting them too deep. Let's go a little less deep. There we go. And again, I'm not someone that says you always have to get organic. You want to get organic, get organic. You don't want to get organic, or don't. I mean, for me, I garden the way I love to garden. I don't let myself be pressured. I don't let other people dictate what I should and shouldn't plant. Should it be organic? Should it not be organic? What kind of fertilizer do I use? I mean, this is the food that I'm feeding myself and my family, so I feel like I'm allowed to make my own choices And again, don't let yourself feel pressured. Do what works for you, what feels good, what fits within your budget. You know, you don't have to break the bank to plant food for yourself and your family.